All right, good morning, YouTube. So last night got the latest software update to 2024.3.6 in the Model Y, which we've never taken out. That's the one we're going to take today, and in the 2023 Model 3. So now they're both merged on the 2024 software branch. We're going to put FSD 12.3.2.1 to the test a little bit today. This comes with the auto park feature, so that is the first thing I want to go check out is auto park. Just gonna go to the grocery store and find a parking spot. I think. Take me to Stop and Shop. All right. It still doesn't back out of driveways or anything fancy like that. All right. So maiden voyage with this version, in this car. Creeping down this road pretty carefully. The old version used to drive right down the center of the street, which is fine until you get up to the stop sign, right? And then you're just kind of blocking the road. So this version looks like, at least in the other car, it does it right. It stays to the right up here. Looks like this one's going to do the same. We're a little bit more in the center than I would like, but yeah, it would actually be pretty hard for somebody to get by me if they were turning here. All right, pretty. It's kind of a blind turn. That fence over there, I don't know if you guys can see in the video, makes it hard. That's the story of New England. We have a ton of blind corners. I don't think our civil engineers spend a lot of time thinking about ease of driving. All right, so this intersection, oftentimes it gets confused. We're actually taking a left this time, so it shouldn't be too confusing. Again, we're stopping way back here by the stop sign. It'll probably show the blue creep line that we'll creep up to. Really slow, really hesitant at this particular intersection. It's blind because off to the left, the way we're turning, there's a train track, so cars coming would be occluded a little bit. Don't go car. It really creeped out there far at this point. All right, now we got it. It really comes off the line once it makes the turn a little bit more aggressively. I like it a lot better. I'm still not a fan of how slow it is around the turns. You know, the way it stops so far back and has to creep up. I think that's related to the NHTSA regulations requiring them to stop at the white line, and then they can creep forward. You know, not everything is in Tesla's control. All right, so this road is, the speed limit drops from like 20 to 30 and then goes back to 20. It's really strange. So it's kind of handling the speed pretty well, honestly. Most of the movements just feel more natural now. Like when that car pulled out, we did slow down for it, but in the version 11, it kind of slow really hard, like kind of a hard brake for it. And this time, it just very naturally kind of eased off the accelerator, just like you or I would. All right, we can turn right here on red. Let's see if it does it. Previous versions, it would do the turn right on red. It seems very cautious about doing this. Let's do it, car. That was good behavior, right? We technically had the right of way, but that lady was out there, so the car yielded to her and let her make the turn. All right, we're coming into the grocery store parking lot. I'm just curious if it'll find its own parking spot. I doubt it. But let's just see what happens here. A little confused. All right, so it pulled us right up to the store. That's actually kind of cool. All right, I'm taking back over. I'm going to navigate down here and go find a parking spot. And let this thing auto park, see how it does. All right, so it should, if I'm driving slow, start popping up on the screen. Oh, let's check this out, see the different spaces. All right, so I guess if I pick one, let's pick that one. All right, and if I press the button to start, I might have to do a close-up of this too. It's a little slow getting in there. Look at this, guys. This is really cool. I mean, it's slow as all hell getting in there, but it's still really cool. All right, so now it's pulling forward again. That's kind of strange. All right. Look at that though, right between the lines. Nice, slow and steady. That's really cool. And there we are. Parking is complete. We are perfectly between the lines. Interesting. All right. Let me, I'm going to quickly put the camera zoomed in so you guys can see that screen, and then do another parking run. Ease up to the back of the parking lot and do another one so you guys can see the screen a little better. Let's see if we can get it to park between a couple of cars. Don't want to interfere with this guy driving. Sorry, my rule is that I'd go out of my way to not annoy the human drivers. But we should be able to park in one of these spaces right here. And there's a guy over there. I'm sorry. Sorry guys, I'll find a good spot in a second. I want to kind of be out of the way because it's kind of slow. Let's go to the side parking over here. And you know, other people are just out about having their day, going to the grocery store. They don't want to have to wait on me playing with my car. So let's just get out here in the middle of this parking lot. Look at this. We'll park between these cars. Let's see if it actually finds a spot for us. Look at that right there. Take that one. So once you select your spot, I'll open this up. Then you push this button to start the parking process. Should probably find some place to parallel park it too. That makes me nervous. I don't want to hit this other car, but it's coming around really good. I think it's going to probably have to straighten itself out a little bit. Yep, there we go. So I wonder if I position the car a little bit better, if it can park in like a single point turn. Look at this though, guys. Right up on the warning. Perfect. That's really good. If I open this back up, let's actually do this. Let's open that up. Look how well we're parked in there. That's really cool. Really, really cool. All right, let's go do one more. I know. Funny, huh? Doesn't take much to entertain grown men, guys. All right, so if I stay further out this time. All right, we'll select this. This should be easy. I'm further out, so I'm hoping it can do it in like a single point turn. Doesn't look like it. It looks like it still wants to pull way out. Actually, yeah, it's going to be able to back right in, I think. All right, we need to find a place to parallel park. I don't think there is one in this particular parking lot. This lady over here is like, what is this guy doing? She's just driving around. I'm parking. I'm parking, lady. There we are, perfectly in the parking spot again. I wonder why it doesn't park straight in them. I find that kind of strange. Let's see if I select a parking spot that's in front of me, will it do better? Does it even give me the option to select a parking spot in front of me? It doesn't look like it. Like you can see the spaces that's lighting up. Oh, look at that. All right, so this is the space up here. It looks like it's still going to go out and back in though. Yeah, so it needs to go past it. And we're going to back right in. So it doesn't seem to want to drive in them forward. Just seems like it wants to back into them. Which is fine by me. that should mean that if I'm sitting in this parking space like this, I should be able to, all right, there's a lamp behind me. Are you going to stop for it? Yeah, it's showing on the screen. Perfect. Look at that. All right. I'm just going to switch the camera back into zoom out view, and we'll go for a drive. I'm trying to think a good spot to parallel park, but I can't think of one yet. All right. Let's where do we want to go? Let's go to Guitar Center. Take me to Guitar Center. We're gonna go to the one on Speen Street. All right, let's see if this thing will navigate out of the parking lot. All right. This would have been a hard pass in version 11, by the way. This version is navigating this parking lot pretty dang well. Whoa, I've never gone this way though. Can we go around the store this way? I'm not even sure if this is possible. I thought it was just loading docks back here. It looks like the car is showing me a new route through the. I had no idea you could go out this way. It's really cautious through here though. And we are just stopped. We're not moving. All right, there it goes. I'm not sure what's going on. Like seeing like phantom stuff on the screen, kind of. Very slow and cautious through here as we approach this speed bump. Turn the display up a little bit. Here we go. So it's navigating this, but it is super, super cautious. I don't exactly know why it's so cautious. It's got plenty of space. Although there is like a half down power line over here. It's strange that it chose this route. There was an easier route to get to the road. There was a much easier route. It's really slow. All right, I'm just going to give it a little accelerator. Actually, I'll let it do its thing. I'll let it play. All in the name of science. When I'm driving normally in FSD, I use the accelerator all the time. I treat it as like an advanced driver assist system, which is what it currently is as far as I'm concerned. When there's actual robo-taxis, it'll be truly full self-driving at that point. All right, so there's a pretty steep curve here. I'm gonna take over, guys, because I don't want to drop off that curb. And then I will engage it once we get back out here. All right. Go. All right, so there's not a lot hard about this drive. There actually is one spot where we have to merge into some other traffic. Depending on how much the traffic is, it can be tricky. If you guys watched the videos the other day, you saw a good example of it handling it really well. Yeah, this version is definitely a step forward. There are some regressions, but that's a complete rewrite of the software. And I've been testing just 12.3 in my wife's car for about a week now, and then last night we got the update to 3.2.1 that came with the auto park. It does feel a little smoother, but that can also be most of the test drives I've done in her car have been when it's raining / snowing a little bit. All right, we should probably get over while normally this car is eager to change lanes. Actually, let me just double check, see if I have the minimal lane changes on. I do not. All right. Kind of surprised it didn't get over. Oh, you know what? It's way down there, but we will need to be in this lane. Usually this car doesn't have any problem changing lanes and trying to go around everybody. I've even seen version 11 actually try to go to the right lane here, which merges back up there and try to pass people. The way that it kind of slows up to the car in front of you, that is so much nicer than prior versions. And the follow distance is a little bit better now too. Turn that off a little bit. Yeah, so along with this, I got another email this morning that my 1 month free trial is starting. I got the email for the Model 3, but I haven't got the email for the Model Y yet. I'm already paying for it, the Model Y. We originally were paying for it, the Model 3, and when we bought the Model Y, my wife's not super interested in FSD yet, although I'm curious to see her try this version a little bit. Her test is really simple. If she's embarrassed to drive it because she thinks she's upsetting other humans, she's completely uninterested. And I get that, by the way. I totally understand that. It takes special people to want to go out here and just see how these things drive in every scenario. So like right now, we're in the fast lane. We should go a little faster. I'm going to do the right thing and give it a little accelerator, guys, since we did kind of merge in front of somebody. I actually think this is a cool feature of FSD, right? Speed limit is 50. I just bumped it up to 54. Now it's holding the speed pretty well from a little accelerator. A lot of people call that an intervention, and it is. But it's not like the car wouldn't have continued driving if I didn't do that. That's just me being a polite human driver. All right, we're getting back over now that we're in front of everybody. Yeah, traffic's being pretty mild this morning. The nag is not too bad today either since the latest update. That's actually good. I have noticed in my wife's Model 3, the nag is way worse than it is in my Model Y. I'll have to take out the latest version now that she's got the new update in her car and just compare the nag. It's almost unusable. It nags you so much. Like every 15 seconds, sometimes you're like, why am I even using this if it's just going to nag me that much? But if you notice, my car hasn't really nagged me much at all. I'm just hanging out, letting it do its thing. And we're getting over. It's good. Like, it's a little ways up there before we have to get over, but I prefer it to make the decision sooner as opposed to later, especially when traffic's heavy, because it's Massachusetts, so all the drivers are kind of a bunch of massholes, right? So they won't let you in for the most part. That's not always true. We like to joke about the awful drivers here, but truth is, people, especially out in the suburbs, they'll let you in and stuff if you show blinkers. During rush hour, though, you don't use blinkers, man. Blinkers are a sign of weakness in this area. And I know some of you are going to be annoyed hearing that, but it's just the way it is in Boston. You start using blinkers and people like try to speed up and not let you in. It's kind of ridiculous at rush hour. Out here in the suburbs, it's not quite as bad. And I do want to get this version up into Boston. It's not going to be today. I am smoking a turkey and a rack of ribs, having some friends over later. So we're going to do some good eating. Probably have some good drinking going along with it. I think I need to disable the little rainbow. It's kind of distracting. I think I actually just prefer the blue line. One thing I miss from the old version, I miss that the route planner would be showing you further out where it's going to go. Like right now, the route planner has disappeared. And it also doesn't go as far out as it used to go. So I don't know if it's not able to plan as far ahead. Or if it's just a visualization glitch or something like that. I don't know. These cars are getting freaky good at driving themselves, though. You know, I've definitely had, especially with just 12.3, I had one incident early in the morning on a really overcast, icy kind of day. It ran into a big stick in the road, and the worst part is it didn't even alert me. Like it just never saw it. Like we just ran over crunch. It's a couple videos back in my playlist. The video quality is kind of crappy, so not a lot of people are watching it. I have learned on these Samsung phones, don't use the 8K. Don't use the highest video setting. It's not enough frames per second, at 28 frames per second. So if you do HD 60, which is what we're on now, you get a much clearer picture. All right, so we're coming around. We're going to merge with traffic. There should be cars coming straight across. There might not be a lot this time of day. You see that guy? So we're merging in with them, and then we have to get over several lanes. And this is easy because there's no traffic coming, so it should be able to handle this really smoothly. More traffic will be merging up that way. So today was a super simple test. We didn't really have to deal with traffic much at all. I'm going to give a little accelerator to get closer to this car because there is a car merging. And if I stop too far back, it just kind of feels weird to them. Again, I'm not going to call that an intervention. That's just me being polite for the other human drivers. I don't think there's any parallel parking spaces in here either. Might have to get to downtown Framingham to try an actual parallel park. Let's see. I am curious if, like, when we pull up a Guitar Center, if it will find its own parking space. Probably not. We'll find out in a second. The behavior driving in parking lots is significantly improved. It's still cautious, but it's not fearful. Come on, buddy. No, it is not. Just as I start bragging about it, it starts doing that. So I am calling that an intervention. That pause and stop with cars around me, that's no good. That just annoys people. So that was a legit intervention. All right. I'm really slow, really cautious here. Coming around the corner, still really slow. How slow do we have to go? And we are at Guitar Center. All right, let's go find a parking spot now that we're here. Those are all handicap spots, so I don't want to do that. Should be able to say, how about that one right there? Boom. And start. Let's do it. Yep, it's still going to back into it. As long as it doesn't run into this car. This is dicey, guys. I don't know about this one. Like, it's really close to this car when it turns. I'm watching out the mirror to make sure we don't swipe this car when we turn this close to it. Don't swipe that car. Once you do it, you can see it lighten up there if the camera's got enough resolution on it. And there we are, parked in our spot again. Pretty dang impressive, honestly. And we are done. Nice. Take me home. I want it to take me to... I'm just going to take over for a second and kind of drive it to where I want it to go. Yeah, get on it, car. Just do it. Alright. So it's kind of indecisive about the lane to be in here. It's staying way over. So yeah, we want to be in this lane. Pick a lane, buddy. It's just kind of driving over the white line here a little bit. The blinker's still on. I'm going to turn the blinker off. I'm going to turn the blinker off. There we go. Alright, good. We're going to go up to Speed Street. That's what I wanted to do. Being kind of cautious, but you know, it's kind of thick traffic, so it makes sense. So we will need to get over one more time. Now's a good opportunity. There you go. It's a little bit more aggressive with the lane changes, which is good. You know, like, oh, the yellow lights, it kind of hesitated a little bit. Wasn't too bad though. Wasn't too bad. But when it's going to change lanes, it's a lot smoother now. It turns the blinker on and starts changing lanes. Sometimes in 11.4.9 it would have the blinker on for a while and just be really indecisive about getting over. It appears to be quite a bit more decisive in its decision-making process now. Yeah, I am very excited to see how FSD progresses at this point. They're pushing out updates pretty quick. I think that Tesla's going to probably... I'm thinking that the robo-taxi platform is going to be the so-called $25,000 car platform that they're hoping to launch in 25. If my thinking is correct on that, then I would guess by 2026 they will start doing robo-taxis in certain areas. And that's super exciting. I know there's already robo-taxis from Waymo and companies like that. And by the way, those are really cool too. I think Tesla is going to have the better solution, but those guys had the easier, faster solution to get robo-taxis on the road and going. And some people will say, well, it's better. They have more sensors and stuff. I understand that argument to a degree, but I believe those cars are all like $250,000 to $300,000 to outfit with all those sensors, which makes robo-taxis kind of prohibitively expensive. If you can solve it with basic vision and like 7 or 8 cameras around the car like Tesla's doing, and you can mass produce robo-taxis at cheap cost, that's how you're going to see robo-taxi future, in my opinion. I will say that there are some limitations with the camera placement the way it is. I know the Tesla engineers are super smart people, and they have thought through all of this. But in the future, I'd really like to see the side cameras at the front of the car, just so it doesn't have to creep as far out on the road. And yeah, like we're sitting back here as humans, we do have to do that. But I think these cars can learn to drive better than humans, and I think that would be preferable. So I actually did take it out last night. This is the maiden drive with you guys on YouTube channel. But last night it did something very, very human, and there was a human in front of me, stopped at the red light, and they decided it's a no right on red. This person's like, screw that, I'm going while there's no traffic. It was a crazy intersection, like cars coming at all different angles. And my car sat there, and then it just started creeping, and then it stopped, and then it started creeping like it was going to go, and the red light let this traffic, the oncoming traffic go, so it waited, they all made the turn, and then it was still, we saw the red light, and it just kind of creeped out there, and it was like, screw it, I'm going for it. And it turned right on red when it wasn't supposed to, and I'm like, oh yeah, we definitely learned how to drive from humans, because that's something that the human right in front of me did it, actually. So, is that a good thing? No, probably not. Like, the car should obey the traffic rules. But it was very human, Yeah, the smoothness is just so much better. You notice the steering wheel's not just jerking all around like it used to. So they're doing a wide release of this to all cars that are capable of running this version. Should be getting it this weekend, and then getting a 1-month free trial. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to massively increase the adoption rate? Or do you think people are going to take it out and just noodle around in a month and be like, oh, no, it's not ready. I'll try when it's all the way ready. I'm on the fence. I suppose it depends where people live and where they try to use it. mean, honestly, this is a pretty good drive right now. You know, it's kind of slow the way it's creeping into the corner, but you know, it is working. Another Tesla there. I guess it looks like he's doing an Uber drive, maybe. There's one roundabout I want to try to navigate before we go all the way back home. So this does feel better than just 12.3. Again, though, I only really used 12.3 when the weather was pretty crappy, and that could have caused some. It just had a hard time picking a lane. It was just very drifty around the white line between lanes. I've seen this one do it just a little bit, but in general, it feels pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super stoked for the robotaxi world. Look at like my in-laws, they're getting older, and it's really hard for them to drive. They do it, but it's, you know, it's kind of a danger for other people on the road. They're super slow, super cautious because they can't see very well. I told my wife yesterday, you know, by the time we're 60, we'll have robotaxis. We'll be able to take a robotaxi anywhere we want to. That's basically, we're 50, so it's 10 years out. Zero question in my mind, that we'll have robotaxis in 10 years. Probably pretty much everywhere in the United States is my guess. You know, the one thing I'm aware of is that a lot of people are going to fight it. They're going to not like it. You know, that's just the way technology goes. You know, some old timers are going to be like, I drive my own car, it's fine. Fair enough. I like to drive too. I do. But let's say it takes all the way out for 10 years, and then we have definitive robo-taxis that are actually driving people around. That means kids that are being bored today, in 10 years they'll be 10 years old. There'll be another, 6 years before they're normally at normal driving age. But since there will be robo-taxis, these kids, even when they're younger, will be able to take a robo-taxi just like they would a train. They don't need a driver's license to do it. All right, so this is a tricky curve, or a tricky turn. Again, it's just blind. This is New England. All right, there's a car comes. I'm gonna give some accelerator. That car was coming to turn. I just kind of nudged it along. But we're gonna have an entire generation of kids growing up, and they're gonna wonder why they want the expense of owning a car. All right, so this is another bad one. Like, we're way back from the road. We need to get way up there to see what's going on, and it's way, way, way back. You're gonna have to pause. Don't go. Just wait. Yeah, that pause was, that way it kind of pulled out there was definitely freaking out the other human drivers. So after this next car, we should be able to get on out there and go. All right. I'm gonna end. You know, I think I'll do the roundabout next time. I'll probably do another video. We have friends coming over. I know my friend Christine wanted to check out FSD, so I'll take her for a ride later. After this truck passes us, we should have it. And we do. So yeah, my thoughts on how we get to this truly autonomous future is, well, honestly, kind of a lot of the older people, we kind of die off, and the younger generations, like, why do I want the expense of owning a car? Like, houses are so expensive right now today. And so, you know, there'll be a whole generation of people that are gonna be like, I'm not paying for a car for myself. I can just use a robo-taxi whenever I want. And to some of us older people, we're like, that's crazy. Like, we grew up in the generation when you're 16, car meant freedom for us. Well, for the younger people, it's still going to be freedom, but it's just going to be in a robo-taxi, picks them up, takes them wherever they want to go. And when people grow up in that kind of world, they're not going to think in the same way that we think about wanting to drive our cars around. There will be some that, you know, that grow up in car families that like to do it. And that's how I think we eventually get to this, you know, full autonomous kind of world where humans aren't driving anymore. I don't think there's going to be any laws passed or insurance companies are going to force it on people. I can see insurance companies now giving people a discount if they use FSD when it's a lot safer. But there's going to be too many people that fight, robots driving around the road for Congress to force laws, and I don't think they really need to. I think it's going to play out very naturally. The technology is just going to get better and better and better, and there's going to be a whole generation of people that just grow up with robo-taxis, just like there's an entire generation of young people today growing up with the internet. They don't know the world before the internet. Very slow around this corner, but we're making it. All right. I almost wanted to give it an accelerator that time. And 2 more turns and we are back home. Saying autopilot is complete, but we have not made it there yet. It'll be really cool when we get to the point that it'll pull in the driveway, but that is not. See if it's going to find a place to park. What it's doing. It doesn't even show the driveways on the screen. All right, take it over. All right, guys, that was pretty solid drive. I mean, I definitely intervened a couple times, with the accelerator just to nudge it along. But all in all, I think that was really successful. I really impressed with this version. Yeah, not much more to say.